Hey, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Dimari.
And we're Side by Side. On behalf of Side by Side, just a quick note before the show begins. We created this platform for people to share their stories and perspectives on a wide range of topics. We just want to let you know that the views and opinions expressed by guests on the show do not necessarily reflect those of our own. And now, enjoy Side by Side Podcast.
Hi, I'm Dimari.
And I'm Brandon. Before the show begins, please subscribe, like, comment, and share with a friend.
This allows us to increase our visibility on the platforms where you listen and watch so we can continue to bring you quality content each week. Help us grow, and we can grow together by enlightening minds one question at a time.
And now, back to the show. All right, welcome back to the Side by Side podcast. I'm Brandon Rizzo.
And I'm Dimari Swanagain.
Cheers, my man.
Hey, man.
We got wine tonight.
Yeah, we fancy. Why? Why do we have wine tonight, man?
We're celebrating. We're in the new studio. It's bare bones right now, but we'll get it up and running. The new studio here. I just moved into the new house here in Austin, and excited to be here. Today, we're going to be bringing on two awesome guests. We got Robyn. We got Symone here hanging out with us, so we're going to bring them on in just a minute. But before we do, little thing about the podcast, if you haven't caught it yet, unity through diversity. That's what we're all about, bringing on different guests from different walks of life every week, trying to enlighten minds one question at a time, and we do it just having fun. So here we are, and we're going to ask some cool questions, get to know these people today, and it's going to be a really, really good conversation. I'm excited about it. I know you are as well. But before we do, our weekly ritual, what are you excited about, my man?
Yo, bro, I'm excited about this episode, just to be clear.
For sure.
Definitely, I don't know why. It just I don't know, it just feels good.
Yeah.
But also excited about Fight Night tomorrow, bro. It's finally here.
We've been talking about it for a month.
We've been talking about it for a month. You know, I don't really care about this stuff, but I've never seen a live professional UFC fight. I've never seen a professional live fight in my life. I've seen a lot of people fight, but not professionally in person. So I'm excited to just watch these dudes go at it, man.
Well, for me, it's like the brewing of the coffee or the tea. I've through osmosis, I'm slowly getting you into it, little by little, and I'm excited for you too.
Well, I mean, you know,
it's my first live professional fight thing too, so I'm excited. Yeah,
I mean, you know, I appreciate martial arts and stuff, and I've done jiu-jitsu and stuff, and actually getting back into it right now, but. I never follow other people.
Yeah.
That's just not who I am as a person. You know, I don't care about this stuff. I didn't even know that the Warriors won. I had no idea, bro. I don't know. I guess I don't really follow other men. But I'm excited to watch them fight tomorrow. So pretty pumped about that, man. But what about you, man? What are you excited about?
Excited about Fight Night. Excited about this new studio. Excited about this new house. It's been a little bit of a stressful month with all the moving, with work, with everything. But I just give it up to God. Give it up to everything we've been working for. So cheers to that again.
Cheers.
And I'm excited. Definitely excited to. We got Mo in on the Fight Night last minute, so Mo excited to do a little bar hopping and food before we hit the fight. And two of my favorite fighters are on this card, so I'm excited about that.
Who are those?
Calvin Kattar and Kevin Holland.
They're fighting each other?
No. They're. It's the main event is Calvin Kattar, and the co-main event or whatever is Kevin Holland. So.
Oh, okay.
Very excited.
I don't know any of these people, but there will be blood.
Yes, there will be.
Yeah.
Let's bring these guests on. You want to intro them?
Yeah, man. Super excited. So we have, designer, mother, great person overall, Symone Washington. And we have the lovely, lovely Robyn Vincent on the show as well. So pretty excited to get to know them.
Yeah.
So I guess, Robyn, we'll start with you, man. What are you excited about? What has you excited at the moment?
The Warriors won. that's I follow that. I'm excited. Yeah, when it comes to sports, I'm basketball's all about California and football's all about New Orleans, the Saints. So I'm just happy the Warriors did what they had to do last night.
Word. So
No
wait,
offense,
walk me through
Boston.
that. Like, how are you Cali and New Orleans?
Because I was born in California and lived there till I was almost 11. And then my parents are from Louisiana, so I have strong Louisiana blood and used to spend my summers here. So we've always loved the Saints, and moving here has just made it a permanent love, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Wait, so
Yeah.
like, I mean, Golden State's Bay Area. So are you from the Bay Area or what?
No, I'm actually from Southern California. I was
So no
born in Long
Lakers.
Beach.
Right.
No. Whoa, Lakers are always number one now.
Oh,
They
okay.
Just
didn't make it
repping
very
Cali.
far this year. Yeah.
Okay, so you rapping the whole, you
Any
rapping the whole
Cali
state.
basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And then with NOLA, have you been to any games? That dome looks crazy. Like just driving by in the city, like on that, what's that, like I-10 or something like that? It's like beautiful. Have you been?
Oh yeah, several times. It's quite an experience. You will leave happy and deaf at the same time. You won't be able to hear anything, but there's nothing like New Orleans fans. They are the best fans and probably the craziest in the world. So it's awesome to go to a game.
Yeah, I feel like that's just true about New Orleans residents, bro. Like they're a different breed.
You were saying something about New Orleans, like just because of the eerie kind of macabre of it all, like with the cemeteries and stuff like that. How trippy it was when you
Bro,
went.
it's so trippy because like there's more like dead people like underneath the ground than there are alive, bro. Like everything is like a
they're not all
cemetery,
underneath
bro.
the ground.
Yo, it's trippy. Like, and then it's like even that one, I forget the famous like cathedral or something that's like right in that park. I forget what it's called, but there's like a dead pope under there. It's like the only pope that's ever like come to America and been buried there. Like, so it's some weird trippy stuff. Everybody's trippy, but it's a vibe. But like, you definitely want.
Robyn, does this track?
It's accurate, but at the same time, they're the most genuine, kind people, and they have the best food. Like the strangers pre-COVID would invite you into their house and feed you if you're here visiting, and not in a creepy way, not like kidnapping, but like I just want to feed you.
So I was like, listen, I was there because I decided that I need to go there like every May for the rest of my life now. And ideally, I like to live there for the month of October, like every month for the rest of my life. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen. I was trying to get him to come with me this month, but then he I didn't go, but he went to LA instead because we talked about it last year. I was like, bro, let's go fishing, let's go, because like all the fish are just like jumping out of the water right now, like it's insane. Yeah. But I love that place, and I went last year, and people invited me into their home, and I was like super creepy. Like I'm from Chicago, so I'm like, bro, why would you ever want me in your house? Like, and I'm thinking like voodoo Creole. So I'm like, bro, they want my soul, bro. They clearly telling you, man.
I'm Creole.
I don't know, but see, I feel safe through the virtual realm. Like I was like right in front of them. Like I was in Treme, and like it was a vibe. I had the best gumbo. Like, yo, bro, like on this spot, like it was like, I guess I found out it was the hood later. I didn't know it was just black people. I was like, I love it. And it was like, I guess, what's it called? Like Claiborne or something in I-10.
South Claiborne in I-10? Yeah, you were in a special neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what they told me afterwards. But I was spinning the block with the guys, man. Every time I go somewhere, I always just try to find the hood. And we went into a spot, got some the gumbo, bro. It's like a big, like thick, bulletproof glass, bro. Like best gumbo, bro. Better than anything that I had in the French Quarter. Crazy. Awesome. But definitely want to. So far, I mean, I want to keep going back, so we'll see. And now, you know, I guess I know you, so you know, we'll definitely let you show us around. But best place I had though, like, was I liked Effervescence a lot. That place is dope.
Have you ever been there?
No, I think
it's a tourist thing.
It's nice.
Okay, that's that. I'm more like hole in the wall. Not too many people, only locals kind of know about it type of places. Yeah. But Yeah. I will say this though, New Orleans, that's what I like about it. Like, you're always hood adjacent. Like, no matter, I don't care the nicest street you live on, the very next block you could be in the hood. And I actually like the mix of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a
So,
lot. And then I mean, Willie Mays was cool too. You been there?
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
actually
instrumental.
send you a list. I have a list of 35 places you gotta go.
Please
Nice.
do.
I'll send it to you.
It's gonna be like my new vacation spot because it's like really you only got Florida and New Orleans to me at this point. Like unless you're like vaccinated, I'm not. So like I can't go to a lot of places. So I'm cool. I got New Orleans and Florida, but yo, let's get Symone on, man. Symone, what has you excited at the moment?
Well, my family is in town right now. My sisters, everybody's like, why did you move to Texas? Why did you move to Texas? So I'm like trying to prove that Texas is so cool. So I'm like tired because I'm constantly trying to entertain people. But yeah, my little siblings, they're here. So that's exciting because I don't get to see them often. So,
Yeah, you have like twin sisters,
I
right?
have twin sisters, and then the 18-year-old just graduated high school, so I persuaded her to go to University of Houston.
Oh,
So, I'm trying to wheel all the family down to Houston. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's exciting.
so like, what are some of the places you've taken them to show off Houston?
Well, you got to think like, okay, we're from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, so it's like they eat at the
Where's
same
that?
Shut
Hey.
up.
Is that in
Hey,
Europe?
hold up. Symone, are you a Green Bay Packers fan?
I am a Packers fan.
Yes. I'm a huge Packers fan. Yes.
Wait,
the
Robyn, how
Packers.
do you like the Packers and the Saints? What's going on?
Listen,
She's like,
growing
I'm
up, it was the Packers, it was the Titans, and it was the Saints. I dropped the Titans. I don't roll with them. I don't know why. I just grew out of them. But always Green Bay and always the Saints.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why. I don't even know.
Love the Packers.
So-
So go on, Simone.
So, where have you taken them?
I
Like
guess
Houston is boring to me, just to be clear.
Really? See, I think I moved to Houston for the chillness coming from New York.
Well, right.
So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I needed that. I needed to always have good weather for the most part. I want to be able to
Yeah.
just walk outside to my car, come back, don't have to look for parking, But me, I'm all about cocktails and wine. So we gonna eat and we gonna drink. So
Right.
Nice.
I have like a list of 30 places too. So we kind of I just moved here in April. So we're kind of like experiencing the same thing together. So,
that's
all
cool.
like the list of my restaurants, I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to try this bar, taste bar, let's go. So we're both kind of experiencing it, for the first time. So,
I feel like we're gonna have to do a segment, extras segment,
Yeah.
and get their 30 best places
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
each city.
If y'all
you guys
have
are
time,
down.
like afterwards, yeah, we definitely need it because
Yeah.
I feel like they know some spots.
Yeah.
Have you been to Turkey Leg Hut yet?
I haven't. It's actually
I
right
have.
around the corner from where I grew up. Because, my
Where you
summers
grew
was spent.
up?
It's crazy, Robyn, because it's like similar stories, kind of like my summers was spent in Houston growing up. My grandparents lived here since I was a
Oh, I
little
didn't know
girl.
that.
Yes, and that's kind
Oh.
of another reason why when I came, it didn't feel like a fresh start. Because it's like, I
Right.
kind of know Texas. I know Houston,
Ah.
Yeah.
You know, I lived there for 6 years.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah.
Ah.
Right by the medical center. I went to nursing school there.
Okay, so that's where my grandparents live, and that's where kind of Turkey Leg Hut is by the medical center. Haven't been because that line is crazy, and I'm just kind of off that type of food now.
Right.
I don't know, like
yeah.
right now, I'm like really iffy with food, so I'm like not in a rush to go. But
Yeah.
it looks cool.
I think it's just like because I don't live there, so I'm just like I want to do
yeah.
it, but no one wants to like wait with me.
Yeah.
We were there like a couple months ago. We went to the Houston Rodeo.
Yeah.
It was lit.
It was lit. We went the night where they had like Bun B, the whole Houston takeover. So it was
They brought
crazy.
Paul Wall out.
They brought everybody out. They brought like
Chameleonaire.
bro. They brought everybody. It was insane. Like,
Yeah, it was
and
nuts.
then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, then we went to Onyx though. Yeah.
Oh, the
Onyx was
strip
cool.
club. I know.
Yeah.
I was here when y'all was here, but I was here actually taking my
Oh,
sister
that's
on a
right.
college tour.
Oh, really? That's what you were doing here?
Yeah, I was trying to get her.
Right.
That was me
Yeah.
persuading her to come to college in Houston.
Very opposite
Yeah,
these
reasons
days.
exactly. That's
Yeah, I
how.
was texting her when we were at Pluckers because
Yeah,
she was supposed to come and maybe come to Onyx with
and I
us.
Oh,
was like,
okay,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. Not the strip club tonight.
Right. Yeah. So Symone, while we with you, just tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your family structure, and what are you doing and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, so from Milwaukee city, um, half grew up in the city, half grew up in the suburbs. My family moved to the suburbs, raised by a 2-parent household. I say that because my stepdad raised us, since I was 2. Dad always been a part of my life, but I was like the mom of the siblings. So turned 18, was like, gotta get the hell out of here. The closest thing was Chicago, moved to Chicago, went to college in Chicago, to Columbia Art School. And that's,
Hey,
yes.
same
Oh,
here.
you did? I did not know
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Okay, so I was in Chicago for maybe 5-6 years. And when you're
When?
like, I'm scared, sorry.
Sorry. When were you there? When did
I
you go?
was there 2008 to 2012.
Okay, so we overlapped a little bit. I was '06 to 2010.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, can I just interject for a second? I got
Yes.
a funny anecdote because I met Symone. I don't know if she remembers it, but like I lived in Hyde Park, and I was like taking the bus 6 bus down, take you straight downtown from Lakeshore Drive. I saw this girl on the bus. I was like, yo, ooh. And I finally like mustered up. I like mustered up the courage. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go say something. I say something. She was not having it. That person was Symone.
And I
And
do
Can you
not
attest to
remember
this?
that. I do not
She
remember
doesn't
that.
remember it because we didn't actually like connect later until we just both randomly lived in New York,
York.
and like we had a mutual friend
That's so
that
weird.
like introduced us, and we just like hung out. But it was like we all hung out, but like she just doesn't remember that moment. And I'm like, no, I saw you on the bus. I legit
I'm like, nah,
shot
that
my
wasn't
shot,
me.
and I never even like shoot my shot. It was like very strategic, and I got let down very early that morning.
God. That's funny, and that's how you know, like the world is big until it ain't, right? Like
Right?
it's really
Yeah,
actually so small. But
it's small.
I mean, Chicago. When I say I miss Chicago, I love Chicago. It kept me grounded because it was like close to home, but it still gave me a little like sense of independent, and finally an adult. Was there for like 6 years, and then something in my head kept on saying, "Move to New York." And I think it's like fashion capital, fashion, fashion, fashion. That's what I went to school for. Jumped over to New York. I had the time of my life. Was there for 10 years. But that's when, I kind of got into like, okay, this is Symone. This is what she want to do. So I started my brand, which is a women's clothing line called Chaos the Brand. From there, decided, okay, I'm going to stop. I was bartending, did fashion, got pregnant. I have a 3-year-old, got engaged. We decided to move to Texas, and now I'm here.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Wow, so much to unpack there, but definitely want to allow Robyn to just kind of give us her background. So,
Yeah. Are you a small business owner, young professional, or pre-retiree looking to grow and protect your assets but don't know where to start? With all the noise about stocks, bonds, cryptos, it can be hard to know what steps to take. Let Black Swan Financial Group help you so you can focus on doing what you're good at. Black Swan Financial Group is a telefinancial planning firm operating in select states nationwide. They're here to help you protect, create, and grow your assets. Visit blackswanfinancialgroup.com today to get your free consultation. Now back to Side by Side.
same question. If you can just tell us about upbringing, family structure, and what you're doing and how you got to where you are today.
Oh, I don't. Symone killed it, but I I was born in LA, Long Beach. We lived in the valley.
LBC, what's up,
LBC.
man? Hey, listen, that's like honestly, anytime I would go to LA, that's where I would spend my time mostly, like in the LBC, just kind of like right on like, I guess like Ocean and Glendora.
Yeah, it's the best. You'll never beat it. Although I
true.
haven't been back since I was like 10. But we've lived everywhere. I have two loving parents and an older sister who she's to this day my best friend. But we've lived in Georgia, Ohio, Texas, Louisiana. I think that's it. Just moved around a lot. My parents showed us what it's like to really go after your dreams and work hard. And a lot of the times they had to move around to accomplish those dreams. And as children, we wanted to be supportive. So we always said yes every time they said move. But now, like every 2 years, I have like an itch to move no matter where I live. But I have lived in New Orleans for since 2012 now. And I do love it here. It's amazing. But just, I'm a nurse. I went to school in Texas, in Houston, and I've been a nurse for over a decade. Jesus Christ, just said that. And I've worked a whole bunch of nursing jobs, and had the pleasure of taking care of people, helping them get better, and some didn't, and that's a part of the game. But now I'm a supervisor at a healthcare insurance company and work from home. And I honestly, it was by the grace of God I got here. I don't know how I got here. It was just, I guess, angels on earth looking out for me, and a lot of hard work and a lot of hours, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Robyn and I actually knew each other from childhood. So when Robyn moved to Ohio in middle school, we went to the same.
Wait, hold on. I think she just hated. Did she mention Ohio in the state she lived in? No, she didn't.
I did.
I think
I
she
heard her
did.
say Georgia, Texas.
she
Oh, she
said
did?
Ohio.
Oh, no, we're going to run it back. We're going to run it back. But we're going to see.
Oh my God, maybe I didn't. I don't know.
But Robyn and I, we were in classes together, obviously through like middle school and high school. And I started a poetry club in high school because I was like,
of course,
always into music and just poetry and stuff. And like at the time, I was like so into Def Poetry Jam, the HBO series, and like their whole like tour they did and stuff. So I was obsessed with that, and I wanted to start something like that at our high school. So I started a little like extracurricular group, and Robyn was one of the like members that like helped me start it, and we just been buds ever since, and we've kept in touch over the years, and it's just been awesome to see like all the cool things that you've done and places you've lived and stuff. So yeah,
Robyn, you still write poetry?
I do. Not. I don't know. I think I had like a writer's block for a few years with COVID and everything, but I still like to write, and I like to write short stories in my spare time. But I'll never forget when he started the poetry club, and I would always get someone else to read my work because I was too embarrassed. Like, you think my voice is high pitched now? You should have heard it in high school. It was like Minnie Mouse, like just constant. So I always had, I can't remember. Rizzo, do you remember who I had read my stuff? I don't even remember.
I feel like you'd show it to me for sure, and I think you had a couple friends that you'd show it to and stuff. But that was the beautiful thing about the poetry club was that like we had like these, I don't know, like just all different people from the school that were like into that, like secretly or not secretly. Like obviously I was not secret because I was always like always trying to do this stuff. But it was cool to just like see people just like pop in on a random day and like do their thing, and you did your thing, and it was just like that kind of like those moments in life for me are the most rewarding. Just like seeing people kind of like come out of their shell and like do, you know, their art, or like open up at work, or like in a friend group or whatever. And that's the kind of stuff I want to create, and that's what we try to do with this podcast. So
yeah. So is like, can we find it anywhere?
The poetry,
like any of your art? No, you don't publish it.
Absolutely not. No, I'm actually for like over 10 years that I kept saying I want to do like a short story blog and post and just let people comment or share their work. but that has not happened yet. Maybe it still will. Who knows? I don't know. But it's fun to get things off your chest, especially when sometimes you feel like you can't express yourself verbally to others. It's just best to put pen to paper, you know?
Yeah, no.
Are you looking to fully brand or rebrand your business? Graphic designer Maaly Williams is ready to take your brand to the next level with high quality logo work, web design, and amazing jaw-dropping marketing materials. You can follow him at Graphic.MW on Instagram to book a consultation to get started.
I think it's super important, and this is stuff that we've talked about previously on the podcast, just, having a creative outlet. And so I know, Symone, you're an artist. What's the importance of like having a creative outlet for you?
I mean, I think it's just something that just keep me sane, especially with like everything going on in the world. It's like, okay, get back to the art. Like, it's important. Like, to the point, it's like, even if I don't have to work on it, I do, like, for my mental, so it's like, just, to me, it's like you feeding that child that's still inside you. So it's very important. It's like when you wake up and brush your teeth, I feel like I practice like every Friday or, every Tuesday. It's like, okay, do something that have something to do with art, even if it's like taking yourself on like an art date.
Wait. So are you saying you only brush your teeth on Tuesdays and Fridays?
I mean, something that
they look pretty white.
They are right. I mean, I brush my teeth every day. No,
so you should be working on the art every day then, right?
I should be. Well, for other people, my thing is like, put it in your schedule. Make it like something that you have to do every day. But me, with my kid and all, it's like, okay, I throw it in there at least 2 times out the week.
2 times
because
a week.
It's
okay, I
that
guess
important,
that's fair.
like it's important.
So I'm not a mother. I don't think I'm ever going to be a mother. I don't know. It's a new world we live in, so there's a possibility. But as of today, I don't think so. And what's that like? Like, you have a child. You say he's 3 or she's 3. I don't know. I do know, but for the listeners, they don't know. So, like, how do you balance, like, parenting and also being an artist?
I think I'm in the midst of learning that. Like, that's what I'm doing, and that's why I say 2 times out the week when it should be 5 days, if that's what I love to do. But I'm trying to balance being a mom and being like teaching him and showing him the world while still doing the things that I love that was before him, and I'm like, woo. 24 hours is just not enough. It's just not enough. But I mean, it's hard. I tell people, like, listen, take your time, kids. We can always have kids. Take your time.
No, that's not true.
Yes, you can always have kids.
No, you can take your time, but you can't always have kids.
Why not?
I mean, I guess that's true. It's through technology and stuff, so technically
I
you
don't
can.
necessarily have to birth them, but if I, I can adopt a kid, I can have a surrogate.
Yeah. I stand corrected, Touche. You can always have kids.
A kid. Like, live your life, be comfortable with your schedule, get on a schedule, and then bring a little human.
So, like, if we're looking at, someone that's listening or watching right now, and they're an artist and they have ideas and goals and dreams and stuff that they're pursuing, what advice would you give to them? If they still want to be, a mother and a wife and all of that.
I guess no matter, throughout your entire journey, and it might be cliche, but it's like, remember why you started. Like, I have to tell myself, girl, remember why you paid Columbia all that money. Remember why you moved to New York. Remember why you started this brand. So remember why you started. And I think you'll never forget. You always go back to it, So, yeah.
So, just kind of going back to Robyn for a second, like you mentioned, you've been bouncing around basically your whole life. Similar to me, I've been bouncing around a lot. So, like, what's your social life like? How is it creating and establishing relationships, both platonic and intimate relationships, given that you bounce around a lot?
Oh, that's been difficult because I think because I've moved around so much, I've developed, it's hard for me to let people go. I'll maybe fight for friendships or relationships that I should let go just because the fear of losing someone so important hits you because I moved around so much. But I've been blessed to really, as I've gotten older, I'm 33 now. I don't mind having a smaller circle. So I have my friends that I grew up with that I still talk to. And most of my friends here in New Orleans are married with kids, so it's not like I see them all the time anyways.
Yeah.
But if I need them, they're there for me. So that's the most important thing. I don't need someone, when you're a kid, it's like you want to be around your best friend every single day. Well, my best friends live in other states, all of them. Mm-hmm. So I just have to kind of take it one day at a time and just remember those who are there for you will be there for you. You don't have to talk to someone every day for them to be important in your life, and learn how to let people go that you should let go.
Yeah. So, but when you say like let go, like what does that mean exactly to you? Like just like block them?
No.
You're out.
Yeah, done.
You're not here. You're not part of this.
Right.
I don't think I have blocked someone before, but that was more of like a stalker situation. No,
probably from New Orleans, I'm sure.
Baton Rouge, but
even worse. Jeez. No, just kidding. Shout out to everybody in Baton Rouge. I've never been to Baton Rouge in my life. I'm sure it's awesome. Okay. Shout out Boosie Badass.
Never met him. So I don't know. Like sometimes things just this sounds so selfish, but it doesn't serve your soul anymore. It doesn't. Like I said, my best friend, we probably talk once every 2 months because we're so busy, but I know she's there for me. But sometimes you can have a friend that you talk to, or an acquaintance, I should say, that you talk to every day, but you still can't trust them with everything. Yeah. So I just kind of like slowly back up. What I've learned is if you stop reaching out to people, you won't hear from them anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you can kind of gauge as an adult who's really there for you, who's not. And it's nothing personal. I keep it moving, and if they want to reach out and hang out, I'll do that. That's no problem. But you just learn as you get older who's really there for you and who's not.
That's something I think that I know he does, but it's definitely something that I empathize with and relate to. I think I've moved around quite a bit in my adult life, and I've lost touch with people, and it's unfortunate, but it's also just part of the growth cycle, I feel like. And if you're kind of focused on being the best of yourself and continually, growing and all that, it's just natural to like grow apart from people that you aren't near, and if you're near them and they're a part of that, they see that and you're growing with them and all of that, it's a different thing. But there's also, I think what's interesting about our relationship that I'm curious about, if you have a person that you have a relationship with this, but he and we were friends for a really short period of time in person. It
was like 9 months.
And then
I moved to New York.
But we came like best buds real fast in that period of time, and then like stayed buddies for years apart. And then now it just so happens that we like are in the same city again for a while. And I wonder do you have somebody like that who like, we'll start with Robyn, but like, do you have somebody where, it could be months or years apart, but when you get back together or you talk on the phone or something, it's like, you don't really need to be around each other because everything just falls into place.
Yeah. Time
What's that like?
Even exist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely, I won't say his name, but we went to high school with him.
Okay.
And we'll go for like months. He wasn't in our grade. He was older, but I won't talk to him. We won't talk for like.
She was.
What?
Okay.
I wasn't. Ask Rizzo. Like I was a nerd. I was a nerd with a lot of friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but nerds can still do their thing too. Okay?
Oh God.
No, just a friend. He's a brother. Lord Jesus, never know.
She said, I can't say his name. He married now.
I don't want to put him on blast. Like he'll listen to this and be like, really? Like no warning. But no, we'll go for like 7-8 months and not talk, and then we'll catch up all in one conversation. Like we just spoke 2 days ago, and it's always comforting. So it's not how often you talk to someone, it's just the connection you share. And that can change as you grow. Like I'm not the same person I was in high school, thank God. And I'm not the same person I was just 3 years ago. So we're constantly changing and growing and learning about ourselves. So that's something I try to keep in play and remind myself, when I haven't heard from someone in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So, moving around a lot is tricky. You know what I mean? And I've moved around, different cities in my adult life, from Chicago to New York now to Texas. And, when you're younger, you're free, you're single, you're doing your thing. You kind of do young single things. You know what I mean? But you're no longer single, Symone. You're no longer just solo. You have a child, you have a family. And obviously you're older than you were 10 years ago, right? So what's that like that transition as far as like connecting with new people, given the fact that, you're spending time with your child, so you don't have time to do childish things.
Oh, we do a lot of childish things. My life is at the park. But no,
yeah. Oh, got it. So you can be friends at the park then. So
that's what it is though. It's like you adapt. So now like I'm looking for mom friends, and it's hard being 32 and like, okay, now I need new friends. And not that my old friends, like, love my old friends. I have friends from decades that I met middle school and we're still friends, high school, still friends. Like, when I meet people, I kind of hold on tight also. But I know I need a different type of friend, because my single friends, when they want to go out and kick it and be out and about, and it's like, I no longer really want to do that. Like, I'm not searching for anyone, So I'm like, okay, find people that are more relatable. Okay, a mom or someone that is married or engaged or whatever the case may be. But it's hard because I feel like when you have a family, you're a little more protective and you're in a bubble and it's safe. Like, I know that if I ever want to go get drinks, I don't need a friend. I'll just call my fiance. He'll go get drinks with me. He'll go get food with me. He'll go to a carnival concert with me, So I'm trying to learn.
And you probably won't even have to pay. That's the beauty. If I was a girl, I was like, dude, I told you, if reincarnation's a thing, I'm coming back a bad bitch.
Like, it's an easy, breezy life, But it also gets lonely because you don't always want family. Sometimes you do want to turn up. So I'm kind of trying to find that balance, like the mom, the wife who still wants to leave the kids behind and we go get wine and charcuterie,
So I mean, but like, is that a thing? Like, I don't know.
Look,
like,
to
is
be
that
honest,
even possible?
they have dating apps. They have mama apps. Like, that's how desperate I think people are.
Clearly, you are.
I literally joined the Heights, like my neighborhood mom group, because I'm like, okay, I need some friends.
Wow.
Hey, we're going to the park. Are we all still meeting up at the park on Friday at 2 p.m.? When normally I'm asleep at 2 p.m., but it's like kind of.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you get to sleep at 2 p.m.? What's going on in your world?
My baby.
You nap when the child
when
naps.
I had a kid, people was like, you're going to start. I'm the sleepiest girl you ever meet. They like, your sleep schedule don't have to change. What? He's the sleepiest boy you would ever meet. Like, that is my napping buddy. So, I mean, he got it from me.
Buddy. I didn't even know you were a sleepy person, honestly. I feel like I've always just
but
seen you
it's
like
also
super
nighttime.
active.
Like, I used to be nightlife. Like, so, but in the morning, you're not catching me. Like, if this was at 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., I could not do this. Yeah.
Wow. That's why we strategically chose this time specifically for you. We knew.
Robyn, are you more of a night or morning person?
I'm both.
I wish.
To be
she's
honest,
a nurse, bro.
She's
whatever they need her to be.
She's like,
or she's a
I'm
former
ready to
nurse.
go. I can adapt. Yeah.
I just kind of roll with it. But I don't really listen. I'm single and I don't have any kids, but I don't really go. Most of my friends are married here, so I can't really call them and say, girl, let's go eat or let's get some wine.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, I got the baby. And I'm like, oh, you can't drink with a child, right? So I don't know. And I know it's hard. I know sometimes, being around a single person, it can be awkward for me. Like when I'm invited to a friend's house and they have all couples over and I'm like standing there and they're like, who is that? And where's her man?
Right. So, I mean,
it's just me.
On the surface, I mean, you look beautiful. You seem successful, intelligent. Do you want children? Do you want a husband? What's going on?
Oh, compliments. Sorry, they make me uncomfortable.
Oh, we throwing them out. This is side by side podcast.
Yeah, we throw compliments out for sure.
We throw them out.
No, I do. I grew up in a traditional family. My parents have been married 30.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, don't let your
maybe even longer.
If you got that wrong, bro, they're gonna be coming for your scalp.
I know, dude. 30 plus years.
Right, there you go.
30 plus years. I work 12 hours a day. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But they they have been married and they have, I mean, no marriage is perfect, but they still flirt and banter and play. And, I want that. I definitely want a partner and a man who will stick by my side no matter what. And I do want kids. I know I'm 33 and I think he's a neighbor. He's always around across the street. Every day he'll tell me, get on it. You're not getting any younger. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I don't even know his name. He just likes to say that to me.
New Orleans, bro. I'm telling you, they're different. They're a different breed.
They are different.
Listen, you have time. You have time.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I was just gonna ask Symone, like,
and
they know something.
They know something.
Also, living in New York, like being from the Midwest, people had kids younger. Like even my friends that's still there, they had kids at 18, then they had another one at 20, and like New York moms, to me, they are established and then they have kids. So they're older moms, but their kids are so fucking smart. And when I say experience the world, they're just smart. Like they're just more independent kids because they are raised by independent grown women and men, And I just that's why I tell people, I'm like, you have time. Like there's 40-year-olds that are having kids, babies.
Well, the thing is, in New York, though, you have to be rich just to be poor. So, it's just true. Like, I mean, it does,
Same thing in LA.
Exactly. So if you're like in the South, like, especially down here, like, I think people like have babies at 14 or something. It's like insane. Like, they're like married at 12. It's incredible. So, like, they don't really have to worry about those things because the cost of living is a lot lower. So you can still, get these things and have this like dream life. So it's definitely like a little different, but like you have insight. You've been with this child, over 1,000 days now. Symone, it's been a crazy 1,000 days. So like you're saying, like everybody can wait. Like, come on, give us the mommy goodies. Like, why can people wait?
I guess I'm coming at it like, I didn't lay down to make a baby. It's like I was 28. We had a good time in Cuba, and I left Cuba knocked up.
Oh, she remembers.
So it's a good story, but it was one of those things like we're gonna just roll with the punches. And like I said, like I used to be very selfish, and even his dad is 40, and he still wants to be out and about. Like we're like when we go on vacation, we bring his mom because we like who gonna watch Brave at night? Who gonna watch the baby at night when we trying to go kick it?
Oh, you take the kid on vacation with you?
We don't always leave him behind. And sometimes we leave him behind depending on the place and, the itinerary. But it's like, I just feel like, and I'm only speaking of, I would have waited. Like of course he's the best thing. And it's like something I'm supposed to say. But he is really the best thing. Like, he definitely put fire under my, my ass. I cannot.
Like, in what sense?
Did you just get flowers?
Yeah. Like what? Like what just happened? Like what?
What was that? You have to show the flowers.
Yeah.
I just got flowers.
Where did
my fiance?
Flowers from
my
where?
fiance he just walked in.
Oh, okay.
Fiance's trying to make a
Wait
good
a
impression on the podcast. He's like, please book me next
Really
week
a
so
good
I
guy.
can
He's
talk
a good
No,
about
guy.
I feel like no. Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like the way that happened, the way she just accepted him and didn't like even
It
budge,
happens.
like that must be like
it
a
happens.
frequent thing. Like she's just like,
happens.
oh, more flowers, great. Yeah.
Time out. Your fiance
Listen,
brings you
Robyn, let me
flowers
tell you.
because Jesus Christ, that's awesome.
Hey, does your fiance have any friends that we could obviously
no,
introduce?
He was,
Jesus. Oh,
No, you don't want them. They don't buy flowers.
I got lucky. That's funny. Now I'm sweating because why? Why?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why?
I'm like,
that was awesome.
while I'm talking about
No, that was like-
I didn't really want to be a mom.
Yeah, I feel like it was like
like a
you just
Cuba.
you alone. Like maybe he already had plans
I'm
in
about to
Cuba.
do
He was like,
this,
oh, when we
right?
go to Cuba,
But
Oh,
no,
I'm planting the seed for
honestly,
sure.
He wasn't ready either, and I think I was like, not man up, but hey, you did what you did. We gonna make this happen, buddy. And we kind of roll with the punches.
which is like a very interesting topic because like right now, like that's a big thing. Like everybody talking about, women's rights is your body, your choice, and that good jazz, right? And so like, I guess we'll start with you, Robyn. Like, what's your take on that? Like you're in a situation and you're pregnant, and should you be able to have an abortion? Should you not? Like, what's your stance?
I personally wouldn't. Just I guess based on how I was raised. However, I am a God-fearing woman, but I will say this: I do strongly believe it's the woman's choice. That is her choice to make. It is her body. We don't need old people making decisions like on what women should do. Like it is every person's journey is their celebration and burden to bear. So who are we to say what you should do or anyone else should do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I people need to just butt out and let people do what they do. That's their decision.
Okay. So, right. You said God-fearing woman, you wouldn't do it personally, but it's still the woman's choice. Right. And I just want to push back a little bit. Right. So,
yeah.
Do you consider like an abortion? Do you consider that like murder or no?
Well, I mean, they talk about, it just depends. Like when it's so far along, but see, obviously I won't say names. I have a friend who, her child died, late pregnancy. And if you were to say these abortion laws went into effect, she would have been forced to have had a dead baby. That's so traumatizing. It's just the things that could do to somebody would just be, I couldn't even say psychologically astronomical. It would, a lot of suffering would entail. So, I'm not necessarily sure what the answer is.
Well, just your answer. We don't care about the politically correct answer. Just
no, I don't care about them either. But
good old Southern girl.
Cali girl first.
Oh, really?
Whoa, we'll get back to that. Thing.
Well, Robyn. So I have questions. So because like you have actually experience in the medical field and the health field and stuff like that. So coming from your profession and your expertise on it and stuff, what would you suggest? Kind of like, I don't know, if somebody was in a situation where they needed that kind of help and they didn't know what to do, how does one go about making that decision in a realistic sense?
To murder or not?
Stop saying murder.
More so just like the health aspect of it, like the going and seeking the medical help, whether it's like you're going to keep it or you're not. Like what like how
you're gonna
does
murder it or not?
You would have to. You're not going to let that go, huh? You have to stay informed. You have to, I would say, talk to as many healthcare professionals as you can, because even though we are healthcare professionals, we are biased. We are going to tell you our opinion, even though we shouldn't. A lot of people still do, because there are consequences to both sides. There are things that can happen to your body on both ends. So go to a woman's clinic and just get informed. Find out what can happen if you do and if you don't, and what are the risks.
So, Robyn, what's the overall like professional consensus on this topic?
Ooh, it changes honestly from state to state. But hospital facility, I've heard a lot of nurses who are against it, and I've heard a lot of nurses who are for it. I've never worked in women's studies at all. Like I'm cardiac, usually the older generation. Yeah. So that's kind of my vibe, but everyone has a different opinion on it. And I've come to understand that people may say a certain thing, but behind closed doors, they feel another way. But because of the stigma of the conversation, they won't say it out loud. Right. Yeah. And that's where I'm kind of, I don't know. That's a tough conversation to have, but I think it's a personal one, and it's one you have to make on your own. You cannot force your opinion on other people's. Whether you believe it's murder or it's not. If it's a fetus and it can't feel anything, do you think it's murder? I don't know. I honestly haven't done my research too much on it.
That's fair. So, Symone, you obviously decided to not murder your child. So, just walk us through that whole,
regardless,
that thought process.
I am pro-choice when it comes to a lot of things. But when it came to...
is it murder or not?
I don't think it's murder at all, actually. I don't think it's murder at all.
It's not murder. But if I kill Rizzo right now, that's not murder? Or
so...
Walking being. Okay, got it. So you got to walk. You can walk?
Don't
kill me.
You can walk. I can't kill you. It'll be murder.
Yeah, I don't want to be subpoenaed. Please don't.
I don't know, but I really pro-choice, and my decision was my decision because of my age. And I think if I was younger, the decision probably would have been different. And that's why I'm all for whatever the woman decide, because they're looking at their life. Like, they're not getting a check for this kid. They're not having just 24/7 sitters for this kid. And a lot of people, and I'm going to say this, and people get mad when I say this, but I say poor people have a lot of kids because they have nothing else to do but have sex. They're just sitting in a house having sex. And they also have a lot of abortions. And it's like, why would we bring in kids that already starving, and already is not being taken care of? So if the woman made that decision and feel like she should not have a kid, I would go with her decision. She knows that.
So I definitely am on board with that, and they've actually done studies, and they show that the more money you have and the more assets you have, the fewer children you actually have. Ironically,
also with education too.
With education, exactly, because there's a huge correlation between education and wealth, right? So the more informed you are, generally, the more money you can make, and you're like, screw them kids, bro. We not having them. So. I totally understand it, but just to kind of push back a little bit, it's like, all right, they're having a lot of sex, and then it's their choice to then kill the kid or not kill the kid, however you want to, phrase it. But it's their choice. But aren't there better ways to prevent
you gotta
the pregnancy?
think, okay, you asking a man to wear a condom, right? You might be asking a man to wear a condom, right? Okay,
maybe
condoms cost. They can't always get condoms
that's
for
one
free.
option.
You might ask the woman to get on birth control. Condoms cost for the most part. Like, I don't know. Well,
they got them at the barbershop.
Know that, I don't know. Maybe some men don't go to the barbershop. Like, they don't have money to go to the barbershop.
I quit.
Barbershop these days is getting pretty tacky.
Yeah, they are pretty expensive, bro. It's true. That's why I got a hat on.
From experience.
I'm not getting a haircut.
But shout out to George, G-Motor Cuts. He's not taxing. He's only giving those cuts.
Not taking all your money.
Yeah, boy. That's your guy?
That's my guy. Yeah, no, G-Motor Cuts.
I don't know. Inflation. But so there's a couple contraceptives, but
Okay,
there's a bunch of options though. I mean, and there's like a male birth control or something that the FDA is like about to approve or something.
How I feel about it, I think men should have vasectomies, whatever they're called, early on in life until they're proven to be able to raise and father kids. Like, just think of the Nick Cannon. Yes,
can you reverse a vasectomy?
You can't.
You can.
You can.
You can.
I don't know. I'm
you
can. I don't know anything about it.
Right. So
I'm about to get one tomorrow, bro. I'm going nuts.
I'm learning something new I've never heard of.
That's right. That comes with that, but there's so much that comes with women being on birth control, getting their tubes tied, and I'm just like, it's just not fair because you guys can reverse it and you can live a happy life. Like you get it done early age, you're good to go. And then when you're ready to have kids,
yo, if that's true, hashtag
yes, 100%
fund vasectomies.
Yeah, 100%.
We need the government to fund vasectomies on a federal level.
And
I feel like I have to say.
Yeah. No, yeah, you gotta be.
To your doctor
no, actually, you need to be.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
By any means, we are not medical professionals, but we need.
Except Robyn.
That's actually true. We do. That's actually true. And she was like, secret. Exactly.
Yeah,
she said exactly like a paid commercial right there.
She said the HIPAA compliant, stuff that needs to be said.
So, like, I mean, I support it, but I think that then you need to be able to you need to pay to reverse it. Because if you can't pay to reverse it, the vasectomy, then you can't afford them kids.
I agree.
Hey.
Look at us solving problems.
Solving the world problems on the side by side.
And we ain't got to murder babies no more, man. Yes. What, 2038? 2038, I could probably take it.
100 years from now.
What are you going to do? Tag team the presidency? That'd be funny. Let's have 2 presidents and 2 vice presidents.
We need something.
Let's just even it out.
We need something.
I mean, almost. We need a new system.
Yeah.
It's wild right now. So, I mean, since we're on the topic of politics, I guess y'all brought us here. I mean,
no, actually, you brought us.
Of course, I did. I'm here. I just want them to drink from the water now. So,
oh Jesus!
How do y'all? I mean, you're a Southern girl, Midwestern girl, New York vibe. Now living in the South,
SoCal girl.
SoCal.
Thank you.
Southern girl.
Born and raised in SoCal.
Nah, she was raised all over. She was born in SoCal. She said she left Long Beach at 10, bro. All right, that was over 20 years ago.
San Fernando Valley, but that's fine. I'm a Valley
San Fernando Valley.
Hey.
Wow, that's different.
Went from Long Beach to the Valley, then to Georgia, then to Ohio. I said it.
Yeah, now you said it. Now she want to give Ohio.
Texas.
Ohio.
So, what Robyn? I'm actually, you know what, Symone? We're gonna start with you. What are your thoughts on having Uncle? Well, it's like a weekend at Bernie's, but we gonna call him Uncle Joe. How do y'all feel about having a 96-year-old president?
I think we all know that things need to change politically. Like, as far as they don't know what's going on. You know, they're
because he's old and senile,
and we're not doing things the way our grandmothers used to do it. Like, times have changed, and I still feel like they operate on those times. But I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about politics. Like, I don't feel like I watch the news, and I'm not really up to date with it. I'm just kind of. I think that would make you more qualified to talk about it. Living blindly because every time I turn on the news, it's everything that I don't agree with. And it was one of the reasons why I didn't know if I wanted to move to Texas. But it was another reason why I left New York. Politics.
Wait, hold on. Unpack that a little bit. So you were scared to move to Texas, but you wanted to leave New York. What were the decision
the COVID
factors?
Situation. And my main reason was leaving because my kid is he's about to start kindergarten. And first off, I didn't want to have him vaccinated. I didn't want him to have to get the vaccination, first off. Second, and that's a whole nother conversation, but that was just something I didn't want for him. Yeah. And I also didn't believe in him wearing a mask at school because I feel like as kids, they see us and we have emotions through our face and our mouths and for them to take that away from them, it's like if I make a comment to you and you only see my eyes, you might take it the wrong way, just like in text messages. But if I'm standing with like a smile and I have a friendlier face, you might be more open to the conversation or the comment. And I just didn't want him, because he was born in 2018. I feel like most of his life was during COVID. Like when he was able to walk and run around, he was wearing masks. And I was like, I don't want him to have to do that. And Texas didn't have that law. They didn't have to wear masks. So
But you say you were still skeptical of Texas. Why were you skeptical of Texas?
It's a lot of, think about it. I just made the decision to move to Texas literally this year. So my lease was up in New York in March. We moved here in April. We didn't have time to really think or discuss. It was like, let's just do it. But with Texas, like the gun laws, it's a very Trump town, which is all dandy, but that was not my president of choice, even though hell now I'd rather have Trump. But anyways, that's yeah.
You know he's from New York, right?
All
right.
But it's just a lot of things. Here. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting what you said about the kids, because I definitely think that like we don't fully understand and know like the ramifications of what's going to happen from like having these kids like wear masks, like do all these things that like affect their development in a way that's like very, because we're social beings. Humans are social beings. Like being able to read a face at that age and like learn how to understand what a thing is saying or human is saying while they're saying it is very important. And like there's a lot of science on like lying and like facial expressions, like you were saying, and like how that shapes kind of like development in the brain and all these kind of stuff. And it's really interesting because I have a niece who was born in the same year I think that your son was, and it's moved to Florida. You moved yours to Texas, and definitely like
two different types of crazy, Florida and Texas.
Yeah, for sure. But like on a mask thing's perspective, she's been able to grow up these last couple of years without having to deal with all that, and like I could see like her personality blooming and like all that when we're on FaceTime and all these kind of things. Granted, that's like a personal thing, but still when we're in person with her out at a public place, we still get to interact in that way, and it's very emotional or impactful for me as her uncle, but also I would imagine for her and her. So I love that you brought that.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up as well. But so do you think like, what do you think was going to happen on the other end if you decided to stay in New York?
Like my main thing, I was like, I want to give my kid a kid life, like, and it's coming from me growing up in the city, having a backyard, being able to sit out on the porch. And then we're in this New York apartment and everybody's so distant and people are, they don't want to shake your hand. They don't want to give hugs. And I'm like, this is not the world I grew up in and I don't want to raise you in this world. So let me find somewhere that's kind of normal. Like, let's find a little bit of normal, So yeah, I just felt like in New York, I didn't want him to be closed off or not being able to, like, even sometimes we go to the park and he's not wearing his mask and kids be like, well, I can't play with you, and I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to play with him. And I'm trying to tell him the reason why he not wearing his mask or whatever the case may be. But I just felt like
it sounds like masks are like the new racism. It's like I was talking to this guy the other day, like maybe that was yesterday actually. I was like doing something with my car and then he was telling me like how he's a white guy and he grew up in like Leander, like growing up, and like one of his best friends or something back in the day, who he said I called him my boy. And I was like, "Ooh, I don't know about that, boy." But he was just like, that dude was black, and but he couldn't play with him because his parents said that they couldn't play, and then the black dude's parents also said that they couldn't play. So it's like mass is like the new thing based on like just. That's my interpretation of what you just said. It's just like it creates a whole chasm of just like maskers and non-maskers.
Categorizations,
Yeah. That's interesting. Robyn, do you have anything to add to that?
I see your point completely, and most of our communication is nonverbal, so I understand how that can hinder growth and cause maybe a stunt in personality, so to speak. But it's hard.
I
I
agree.
feel like you're damned if you do,
100%.
damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, like COVID, I've lost several family members to COVID early on.
Yeah.
And
sorry for that.
It's been quite. Thank you. It's been quite a journey, and being in the healthcare field, I was blessed that I was working from home during COVID, but a lot of my friends are nurses, obviously, and I would talk to them after work, and a lot of them would cry, and they would say just people dropping dead left and right.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like I see both sides, and I don't know if we can find a line, because this has become such a political conversation when I don't know if it should have, because it's about health.
Right.
But people are so staunch on it, and I think we just have to give each other grace and understand that our experiences are different. So yes, you may believe in something different, but I can see where you're coming from, but just understand where I'm coming from. And this is why, because I've experienced this, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it though. What you said has a point. You definitely have a point.
Yeah, no, I love what you said there. It's so important that we just empathize, right? Because it's become political for no obvious reason. Like I can't see it.
I feel like everything in the world today is has some sort of politically charged thing behind it, and it's so sad, because it's that's what we talked about when we started this podcast, is we wanted to show that people who are completely different on the surface, but deep down, once you get to what motivates them, what drives them, is really the same, and I wish that we as a society were doing more of what are we the same about? What are we united on? And find our common differences again. And it's just so sad that things like this that shouldn't be politically motivated, we should be going off of what's sensible, what's smart, instead of just what does my tribe say versus what does your tribe say?
Right. And it's really unfortunate, and it seems like there have definitely been people that have tried to bring us together, but they always kill them. So if Side by Side blows up, we're gonna die, guys.
Oh yeah.
You're on your own.
Well,
no, not you guys, just us. Still, it's fine.
So, hey everybody, Brandon and Dimari from Side by Side here. Just want to tell you about one of our newest sponsors, Ease Web Development.
Ease Web Development specializes in building high-conversion websites and marketing campaigns that take your business to the next level. They're the easy decision when it comes to marketing.
So check them out now at www.easewebdev.com. That's ease, WEBDEV.com. Now back to the show. Dimari and I were talking before the podcast about something we wanted to chat with you guys about, which was we were talking earlier about friends, and this idea of as you get older, being hard to make friends but also keep friends. And I think and also to touch on the political thing of this component of that stuff, is this idea of just ego getting in the way, and I know, Symone, this is something that you are passionate about, but it's something we've talked a lot about on the podcast about. But can you just tell us what your kind of idea is behind how is ego versus the personality versus what growth and just self-development and stuff like that, how is that shaped kind of the way you approach life and what you're looking to kind of do as you get older?
The light work and the work I'm working on now, ego. And I feel a lot of us, we lead with ego, and that's why I feel I'm not where I want to be, because it's oh, you're not gonna come and criticize this, or you're not gonna judge that, or having to ask somebody for work, or help, and it's I'm trying to let ego die because I'm very proud and prideful. So, and it's like when I talk to friends and I see where they're stuck, I'm like, you're stuck because you think you should be at this position in your life, like being maybe 32 and, oh, I've done all that. I've done the groundwork, but it's like, but have you, and have you ever asked for help? And I just feel like ego is a killer when it goes to dating. You might see somebody you like or you're interested in, but you like, oh, I don't even approach people. Like he should approach me or she should approach me. And it's like, but that's ego. If that's something you're interested in, you should
Right.
go talk to them.
Okay, I gotta push back, Symone. It's a new world out here, and you can't just walk up to women anymore. So I personally don't hit on anybody anymore
And that's why I
because
feel like
it's a
platonic
crazy world.
relationships are important
Really?
because you see both sides. Because my best friend, who's also here, she's like, oh, men in Houston are terrible. Like, they would not come approach you. And I was like, well, you approach them then. She was like, they're the new bad bitches. Like, that's a known thing here. Like, the men, like Robyn,
No,
like somebody might
What
give
you
you
got,
the
Robyn?
eye
Go,
and then you
Robyn.
supposed to
no.
stand up and go deliver. And it's like,
Well, here I think it's just because two things. One is like I was in Dallas a couple months ago or whatever, and my homeboy he was like, "Yo, bro, Dallas is different." He's like, "Yo, bro, white dude, actually Venezuelan or somewhere, I think he is." But he's like, "Yo, like, bro, they
heard about that.
the girls
too,
come
in
up to
Dallas.
you here," and I'm like, "What?" So
No, yeah, they do.
it's a fact. So I go and like, yo, I'm pulling all of them. Like, I love Dallas, bro. Dallas is lit. I'm juiced, right? But it was just funny games. I was just like taking numbers, not really caring. But he had said that, and I was like, yeah, no, like I don't really approach people, and I think it really just stems from like the feminist movement. You know what I mean? Where it's just like anything you say at this point can be used against you. Like I can like be trying to just like give someone a compliment, and like I just saw a video on Instagram like 2 days ago or something like that. Like I haven't been on the gram, and I got on the gram and I saw this, and I was like, this is why I'm not on the gram. But it was like, it was like a girl
I seen
like
that.
working out, like a white woman working out. Right, and then like it's like two dudes. I guess they work at the gym or something, and then she like takes off her, not like take off her top, but like take off like the over layers or whatever that she had, and so they just looked to see if she had like some buns or something like that. And she's like, "You guys, you have a problem? Can I help you?" Like, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, yeah, this is why I don't look at people. This is why I don't approach people, because you have no idea what they want. But then I'll be like in my platonic relationships. I'll like ask these girls like what's going on in the dating world, and they'll be like, well, guys don't approach me, and I'm like, bro, because we scared, bro, like we don't know what y'all gonna do. Like it
was already like before this time complicated, and now it's like you add that layer and it's even harder.
But that's
no,
my
bro, I'm
thing.
a monk
It's
at
like,
this
so
point.
how
I'm
are
just
you
like,
guys,
nah,
like,
bro,
what
I'm
are
good.
you guys gonna do to get these relationships? And that's where ego comes in, and platonic friendships, because I feel like the best relationships start as friends, right? Like we were friends and somehow we started liking each other and we're attracted, but it's like that's the only way at this point that you're gonna meet somebody is if hey, you guys come over, I'm throwing a shindig, and our game night become a annual thing or a monthly thing, and you're constantly seeing this person. Now y'all friends, and then the friendship becomes a love thing. But other than that, nobody's approaching anybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm telling you right now. But as far as having that platonic relationship, I think it's still like a little interesting, because you still need to like have the expectations and the terms set up front, because even though like you can be feeling each other, everybody has like their long-term goals of like what they want ultimately. And so that may not, necessarily be aligned. So I think it's also just a great way to, prevent people from murdering babies.
Walk up to girl. You're right.
If guys are afraid to walk up to women, then they can,
You're right.
then they can never actually have sex.
Oh,
so
God.
like this is really the best form of not killing babies.
So Robyn, what's your thoughts on the whole ego versus kind of the platonic thing, as Symone was saying?
I feel like everything's so distorted, and it's mostly because of social media. Let's be honest. Like our expectations, and I mean, you grow up a certain way. Your parents teach you certain things, and not saying that you have to follow those things. But then you're on social media, and you see one video where a guy is showering his woman with gifts, but then another video where it's like a toxic love and they're cursing each other out, but that's how they love. Not my style, but
Right.
it just your ego just gets lost in the shuffle to me. So it's better to just like kind of take a step back at times and just remember who you are, or try to figure out who you are as a person and what works best for you. Now, am I the best person to ask about this? No, because I'm single, and but I.
So, do you want to be
like,
single, Robyn, or do you want to be in a relationship, or what?
Oh yeah, I do. I do want to be in a relationship. I hate to say it, I just haven't met the right person yet. It's really not easy, especially when you're in your 30s. It's a whole different dating pool. Like, I don't even know how to manage it. And like a lot of my friends are telling me to do online dating because they've been successful with that. But
See, that's
tried it
scary.
once, and the guy lied about his name and age. So no,
that's scary.
That's crazy.
That'll definitely taint your perspective of it.
Which app were you on? Let's call them out. Let's do it.
Yeah,
you are not. I don't know if they're litigious. I don't want to be like.
Oh no, it's okay. We'll be fine. Any bad press is good press.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, you on Match? That's like the old lady one, man. You're not supposed to be on Match.
I don't. What am I?
An established 50-year-old. I feel
Can
you.
I say some advice?
I feel you.
I don't
that
know
someone
the good
gave
ones.
me. Okay,
I mean, I don't know the good ones.
Advice,
Yeah, I mean,
what you got,
my mom
Symone?
told me, because when I say I wanted a boyfriend so bad, and I think it's because I was like a serial dater, and being in New York, men are just everywhere. And then if you're attractive, it just seems like the men are now doubled because they're just there. But she told me, like, find a hobby, find something you love, right? And then find a place that you would be okay with that person. Dimari, you remember I made that tweet about find a place that you would be okay with your significant other being. So just maybe playing golf. Like, oh yeah, I don't mind. My man can wake up on Saturday and say he's going to play golf. I'm like, okay, here's a cooler with some, some drinks and whatever. Like, I don't mind you being and drunk and golf.
Wow. Okay.
Now she talked about a topic you care about.
Hold on. There's like a whole like subset of the internet. You're probably not attuned to this because this is definitely a dude thing, but like this whole thing about like golfing and like it getting in the way of relationships.
Yeah.
And there's like
a lot of memes. So many
memes. I send them to Dimari in his group chat we're in all the time. And it's just so funny to hear you say that because it's like everything is like, hey honey, we're gonna play we're just hitting the back nine right now. It's like 10 hours in.
She's like, where are you? But she's like, I want to be there with you. Let's have this hobby together. And it's like, no, we don't want this hobby together. It's it's super. Go ahead.
Okay, I play pool, but I used to be a girl that I used to spend a lot of time in bars and clubs, and then
she's a pool shark, guys. Nice. So, like, if you ever see Symone Washington at the pool hall, do not bet.
Okay,
she will take your money. She's a pool shark.
I met my significant other there. Like, I met him at the pool hall on an off day. He was playing pool. I actually worked at the pool hall too. But all I was saying is, like, now when I go to the pool hall without him, he's okay with it. If he go to the pool hall, I'm okay with it, because it's like, I love pool just as much as you do, and there's other women, men there. You want to be there. It's cool because I get it.
Hey.
Yes.
I think that's advice
I have a question, though.
That's advice for anybody out there.
Find
that's good advice.
Find a hobby.
If I ever leave my house, I'll use it. Right. So I've been told that, like,
Yes.
out in public, that I'm intimidating.
Oh.
What does that mean? Well, I
That-
know what intimidating means,
yeah.
but like, what is the
I can see, even
underlying?
Yeah.
right
Because
now,
I
I
feel
can
like I'm
see you not being
approachable.
approachable.
I
Can I say first off, what's something that's
Exactly.
against you
what?
Yeah.
is I'm sorry,
Oh,
light skin.
am I?
Light skinned girls are already have this stigma of being like unapproachable and stuck up, right? Do y'all agree? Like they say this about light skinned women, right? Yes.
No, I
I agree.
learned
I mean, I
that
think
But you know,
before I went
well,
to
you
Rizzo's like
know.
the
college.
most light skinned, so I don't know.
What
Do
you
they?
guys
Do
say?
the
I'm
guys?
approachable.
Yeah. I mean, you look kind of
Or,
Am I
approachable.
approachable?
and
But
I
honestly,
think
when I'm outside with you,
single
you're
women
not that
too, and this
approachable.
is
You're
what I
not
say
that
about
nice
my
to
best
people.
friend. Like she's an attractive girl, but when we go out, I feel like I'm not looking to be approached. So I might be a little more goofy, not realizing it. Like I'm constantly laughing, smiling, like only focus on her. And she's a little more like got her pretty girl face on because
Yeah.
she wants somebody to approach her and she might be like looking around
Oh
the
no.
room. And I tell her, I said, you don't look approachable. Like you have that, what they call resting bitch face.
That's
Yes,
not
yes.
me.
Right. Yeah. RBF for sure.
Oh my God, you have
Okay.
rested bit. No, I'm
Okay.
usually like laughing,
Okay.
goofing. Like I do not take myself seriously at all.
I,
It's almost bad. Like I probably
No,
need to
keep
be the
being
other
who
way,
you are.
honestly.
Yeah,
Like
keep
I
doing
just
that.
no. You
like to
should
have
always be
fun.
yourself.
Always be
I
yourself. Yeah.
honestly like just feel like the reason is just because no one knows what anyone wants. So, when you see someone, like I'm out in public, I see someone, I don't know, they could be waiting for someone, they could, you know, um, not be interested. And I think like people just don't even want to deal with
Ego.
rejection or whatever other things may come with that. So I feel like we're at a turning point in history as far as like gender norms. Where it's like men, I just saw some
Hoochie
stuff they
daddy.
talking about. They got shorts calling the guys hoochie daddies,
Right
bro.
now, you look like
I'm
you
not
Hoochie
got
a
a
hoot.
hoochie
daddy.
daddy.
I'm not a hoochie daddy. They tripping, bro. Hey
Are they
man,
4 inches from the seams?
I got some force, but those are for running. And and I've been on.
Sure,
I had those shorts for like, like literally like
sure.
6 or 7 years. So one thing
Uh-huh.
about
Yeah.
me is I'm ahead of the curve on everything.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I honestly
I can
am.
Yeah,
attest to
okay,
that.
hoochie
I'm
daddy.
ahead of
That's
the.
a hoochie daddy thing to say, by the way.
Nah, but I'm really ahead of the curve on everything because like just the way my life was set up that like I was just doing stuff that was different from like what's popular culture, and then now like a lot of black people adopt what's going on and then they make it popular, but it's like I was already doing that. Like I got so many stories.
You sound
bro.
like the guy who's like, yeah, that band is so popular now, but like I knew them when they were like indie, man.
Yeah, bro. But I don't know about music personally. Like I don't be like seeking new bands and stuff. But I just do me like, and I wear stuff that I want to wear and do whatever I want to do. And then I got criticized and ridiculed about it from my friends. And then
Yeah.
5-6 years later, they're doing the same thing. They cornballs to
The
me,
hoochie
honestly.
daddy.
So I guess I'm the original hoochie daddy.
I love it.
All right.
That's funny.
But no, so like what do you expect from a man when you go out, Robyn? So you going out, well, first of all, like where do you even go out? Like how do you even meet friends? How do you even
He's
network?
not breaking
like,
in.
And then
The
beyond
problem
that, and
is
then what do
He's
you
not breaking
expect from
into
a
your
man
place
when you
and
see
into
one?
your
I need to go more places. I really haven't. I'm more of a like restaurant, hole in the wall, like chill or like low key bar. I don't really do like super fancy places unless it's a special occasion.
So hold
And
on, let's
I'm
unpack that for a second. So
oh
you like the hole in the walls. What's your ideal man?
oh, I always say this. I want a man who will like go to church and pray with me, but will also go to a bar with me and we watch a game and we curse and yell at the ref.
She said, right after church, let's go to the bar and watch
Sunday, we're saying, hey, God. Later, we're saying, fuck that team.
Right. Because don't get me started on the refs for this latest series. But, like, you know, I just, someone who's down to earth and family oriented, because I'm big on family. That's a big thing for me. That's something I'm always gonna take care of, and that's what I fight so hard for in my career, and I want to advance it because I want to be able to take care of them, even though they could take care of themselves, but I want to have the opportunity if presented. And someone who's just, I do like nerds. I like guys who are intelligent, but looking at them, you wouldn't think they know what they know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like that's like so many dudes, though, honestly. I don't know how many people are smart, honestly, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I look like I know what I know when I look at myself. Because honestly, I jumped out of my body.
You definitely put off a different perspective externally than what you are internally.
Yeah, no, I realized that. I had an epiphany the other day. I went to the, like I said, I was doing some stuff in my car, and I was in there, and I just like left the gym. And it was so funny, the stuff that it was like all white people and the stuff that they were saying and looking at me. And I didn't even realize until I got home, and it was like later that night, and I was sitting there just like chilling, and I was like, oh, they think I was just cracking up, bro. Because it's just so funny to me that, like, I think people think, like, people really perceive you based on what you, like, how you look, and they think they know. And I'm like, that's so crazy, bro. Like, you have no idea who I am. And that, like, younger me, I would have been, like, super, like, offended back to the ego. Like, I would have been like, what? Man, I'm smart as hell. But,
and
like, now I'm just like,
they
are,
kind of, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. No, not even kind of like.
Issue.
Well, you look intelligent though, like, but I'm pretty sure like
you
they
look
would.
Very intelligent. But you know, it could be.
I'm talking to both of y'all. Y'all both look, but I was talking to you. You look super intelligent.
Like Robyn, you can be, you know, like they looking at you like, oh, the pretty girl.
Oh God,
girl, that's my everyday.
I will go
outfit.
put on. Every day, yes.
Well, I think it's like what you wear, like definitely creates the perception. Yeah. So like I'm meeting you like this. You look very like well put together and stuff. Symone looks super put together. Y'all just look like professional ladies, right? But if you were just like running to the bodega or something for something, you know, and you just put on a hoodie, it'd be a different thing. Yeah. So then it would create a different perception, right? But I think. So you're trying to find a guy that on the surface doesn't look like he's intelligent, but he's low key a nerd. So she's looking for like, it sounds like you're looking for like recovered inmates.
No,
absolutely not. Well,
no.
That's so
she's like, he's like, bro, I've been in jail 15 years, reading books all day, working out.
I'm ready.
No. So I'm reformed, exactly. So you're not gonna give him a chance. So all right, listen. So you hang out in the bar, right? So you hang out in the bar. You like restaurants. So you're in here. You presumably you're alone. And so I'm supposed to just walk over to you while you eating your gumbo and start talking to you? Is what you expect?
You and that gumbo, I gotta freeze some and ship some to you. I don't see. Here's my thing. I don't expect anything, and my sister gets so frustrated with me. So do my friends. I will go out and just do me. I'm not paying attention or expecting any guy to come and talk to me. I am literally just doing my thing. And my sister will be like, you didn't see him staring at you? I'm like, who? Not paying attention because I'm just enjoying my day. You know what I mean? Like, I say bars, but I rarely.
Would you say that you're not like necessarily looking for it when you're out doing these things, and then it's just they're like, oh, this is an opportunity for you, but you're like, I don't really care. Like, I'm just doing me. Is that kind of like what happens?
Pretty much, yeah. And I guess I should be more perceptive. I'm more perceptive of like my safety environment. Yeah. Like, okay, who has guns? Who's packing? Where are the exits? Well, you know, this and this.
So then what I can tell you in Texas is the answer is everybody. Yeah.
No, I know that. Yeah.
So Robyn, then you spoke a little bit about like, you know, God-fearing man being important, being able to be like, you know, have fun, go out to the bars and do that kind of stuff.
She's that really described
family man.
Dimari.
Aside from Dimari, what about within your community? Have you ever thought about the churches you go to, or like the crews that you circulate in? Like, I feel like I know people who I'm one of them, been set up on a blind date with somebody who's in the friend group, or in a mutual situation. Like, when I met my wife, our mutual friends set us up on a blind date, and we just we became
wow, congrats on that.
husband and wife.
12 years
So
now, right?
yeah,
12 years a slave.
Your wife is gorgeous, by the way.
Thank
She's
you.
beautiful.
Shout out Marcella.
No.
Hashtag Marcella.
So have you ever tried something like that, like where it's like you're in a mutual situation, and what does that look like?
Okay, so you guys mentioned earlier with the South, especially, that people get married at younger ages, which
at
is
12
completely
usually.
fine. It's kind of yes, and,
No.
and kids
That's
at 15,
illegal.
but no,
Not in
right.
Texas.
So, a lot of my friends are married and their friends are married. Like, I'm in the worst situation where everyone I know is pretty much married. And they don't know anyone who's single. Like, I'm the one single friend out of everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, earlier when I first moved here, there were a couple of blind dates set up before those people got married, and it just did not go well.
It could be location.
Yeah.
It just didn't work. So
Yeah, location is super important. So Symone, walk us through. You guys obviously liked each other at the pool hall, but who approached who? What happened?
I was with friends.
What was the dynamic between
and
you and your fiance?
He sent drinks. Same.
He brought
Same.
flowers, obviously.
He sent drinks to all of
Simone's
us.
face.
But how you know somebody was staring you down? I knew. Even though there's a bunch of women, I kind of just knew.
Oh, wait, hold on, slow down.
Yeah, it was like
he did a player
thing.
You say he sent drinks
so
to
he sent
everybody.
Drinks to all of us. Yeah.
Oh, fellas, listen up.
And
Power move.
But
Power move.
I was
Quick
ignoring
$60
him
to the girls.
And I had to go to the bathroom, and his pool table was right by the bathroom. And Dimari, I used to go to. If I gotta go, I got to go. It was.
She has to go.
Here we go, right there. So
I can attest.
I had to walk to the bathroom.
She'll go right there.
And as I was coming back, he was like this, waiting for me. So we talked, and from that day forward, I told people, he was like, "You're not gonna walk past
you talked
me."
like he approached you,
and
or
then
you
from
approached
there,
him?
I didn't really talk to men at the pool hall because I felt like, of course, it's always a lot of men. I'm the woman. Of course, you want to talk to me. I'm the only woman for the most part, But him, I kind of gave him a chance. It took a minute for me to kind of open up to him, but when I did, maybe a month later, we hung out every day after that. And it was one of those things, how sometimes you get in a situationship and you might see each other once every other week, or it was every day. So it happened real fast. But besides all that, I wanted to say to you, Robyn, and I mean, you, Dimari, too, since you're single, the one thing I did do was, I'm very spiritual when it comes to just speaking of the things I want, and being very clear and intentional about them. And yes, and with him, it wasn't until we were doing this thing, this life. And I was like, everything I wrote down is him to a T. And to the point that I was like, damn, I wasn't specific enough. Because there's some shit that might irritate my soul. But when I say to a T, it's shit that I was like, oh, I wasn't specific about this. But I wrote down everything I wanted. And then I'm like, you always have to give up something. And be selfless, right? You got to show gratitude, be selfless. And it's what's something you're willing to sacrifice? And this sounds so fucking selfish. Can I cuss? Yeah. Okay, this sounds so fucking selfish. And I said...
Yeah, you did already.
His family. And our family. And I say that because I come from a big family. And we have parties. We go on vacation together. And I was like, I want a man that come from a big family. And they take me in. I was like, you know what? I have a family big enough for the both of us. So he don't have to have a... When I say it's him and his mom, his mom and his dad, And I have none of that family relationship when it comes to his side. Like, his side of the wedding would be very empty. And I was like, that's when I was like, okay, this was my list. This is my list. So maybe this is my person, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what's crazy is like sometimes the biggest families are not as close as the families that
but
are
you
small.
create
So like the
family. You
smallest
got married
families are
to
the
create
biggest
a family
families.
with your wife.
They
And
they
you're going to
lit,
start,
bro.
you know, your own traditions and your own this and your own that. So I had to be like, you know, right.
Especially with the new
Kardashian.
house, bro.
So it was like, you know, my thing is
Yeah.
writing the list and like,
Amen.
been like, look, God, I want him to be this. And you might be like, this is too specific. Like, he ain't got to have a low haircut, but I'll literally just write down, like, girl, he can only wear black.
High top babe. Yeah.
But, and then,
I feel like doesn't
It's a
your
New
guy
York
like
thing.
only wear black though? Like I feel like
It's a
when I
New
lived in New
York
York, I only wear. You know, that's
I still do
it's a New York thing.
I wear a lot of black, but I moved
black
here
is
now.
a
I
Like,
be
it's a
wearing
thing,
colors.
you know, we look good in black.
Y'all
Everybody
call me
look
on
good
an
in
off
black,
day. I
but
love black and I love hoodies, so that's pretty
Yeah.
great.
Everybody look good in black. You look slimmer.
Woo!
It's just too
Yeah.
hot down here. It's like 102
I know, and I love
degrees.
your
So now I'm
socks.
wearing
Yeah.
like I mean I got
Yeah.
bright neon
That's right.
shoes with like a rainbow
I
flag.
like the kicks though.
Yeah.
I love the kicks.
Yeah, no, shout out to Pride Month, LGBTQ community. You know, a lot of people get hated
Yes.
on, and
Yeah.
it's
Who
messed
you
up to
and
just
who
be
you
ridiculed
love
and
though. Like, my
persecuted
personal life has
for
nothing
being
to
who
do
you
with
are,
who I
bro.
am.
So,
You know, like it's messed up.
Yeah.
but you know, I'm a little
Yeah.
pissed off that they took the best thing ever, which is the rainbow. Like,
That's
come
my
on, bro.
baby
Like,
favorite
how y'all
thing. His
gonna
whole
steal
bathroom is rainbow.
the best color
He's like, I want
coordination
everything
ever?
rainbow.
So now I can't even rock rainbow without people like second guessing me. I mean, so that's the only thing I got beef with y'all. Other than that, man, love who you love. So okay, so you kind of gave us like your ideal guy, great. But what do you expect for this guy to do when you're out and about?
Like how to approach me?
Yeah, you think he's supposed to approach you? So you eating shrimp etouffee.
Wait, the French accent killed it.
At the place.
He practiced all day for this moment.
In the mirror.
He was in the bathroom
In the
saying, "Hey
mirror.
man, I gotta go to the bathroom." And then I just peeked over the door and he's like,
Oh my god!
over and over again.
And I watched
Champion.
Ratatouille last night too. So like, okay, so you doing that and you need him to. What are you expecting? You chilling? Like, I just feel like, how am I supposed to approach you while you eating? What do you want from me, Robyn?
Oh, said my name aggressively. Robyn. Sound like go home, Roger.
Yeah.
That's what that
Oh
sounded
yeah, that was my jam.
That was the best show. I don't.
You just dated
My
all of
thing
us, by the
is-
way. Like all the 15-year-olds are like, I don't know what she's talking about.
I
This
know.
is part of growing
Oh
old.
my god, I did. It's fine. I already told my age,
Go
so
home.
it's fine. They know. I have a big thing about just being polite in general, and I'm not saying that in like a snobby way. I believe in respect. Just
But
hey,
the
how are you? My name is
pearls and the
so-and-so.
collar say otherwise.
Okay, let me be clear. Let's be real. If I knew I could dress down, it would be like a long sleeve Cali shirt, some biker shorts, and
Let's
I
go.
would be relaxing. But I did have
love
meetings today. Yeah, I like to listen. This is the best it's gonna get. I don't do I don't do more than I literally use my fingers for my eyeshadow. I don't really care.
No, I'm not
but
hating on
no,
it. It's
just-
good. I'm just saying, like, you know, you just, I don't know, like, back to the RBF. Like,
But
you
you know,
just look
that's
like
to me,
something
it's still
different.
ego
you know?
too.
Do
It's
I
like
really
a man
have
that's
RBF
for
though?
you and that's comfortable with who he is. I felt, and not with
Yeah.
who he is, but he's like, okay, that's my wife, that's my girl,
Yeah.
that's whatever. He's going to approach you. Your person is going to approach you if that's what you want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like you have to change your face.
Oh,
Simone, yeah.
but hold on, Symone. No, you don't got to do any of that. I'm with you on that. But so if you see a guy, Robyn, Symone, not you, Symone, you done. But Robyn, you see someone, she's out of here, guys. Sorry. halfway out of there at least. So, you see a guy, same sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Why not go approach him?
I'm not against it. I will say this.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah, and it.
Because girls
sometimes
suck
those
at
are the
hitting
best.
on dudes,
But
bro.
that
They're the
shows
worst.
you exactly who you are.
I
And I think
stuttered.
those are
I
the cute
stuttered in the
awkward,
middle of the
like
sentence.
the awkward stuff is like the best. That shows personality and show who they are.
Yes. Authenticity, yeah.
It would have been cute
Yeah.
if it would have
Yeah.
worked. If it would have worked, I would have been like, "This is the cutest meet cute I've ever had." No, it was embarrassing. I literally stuttered.
So going back to empathy, which is something that you talked about earlier, Robyn. Let's empathize with guys. So you walk up, he's like, "Yo, oh my gosh, she bad." Like, "Oh shit, look at her eating shrimp etouffee right now."
That voice.
I gotta go over there. Yeah, it's my R&B voice right here. I gotta go over there. I gotta go.
Keep sweat.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No. This is black magic right here. So I gotta go over there. I gotta go talk to her. Oh my god, look how hot she is!
Not with the
Wow.
beat. I can't.
Boom. Yeah. So like I got
That was good.
so I go over there and I talk to you and then I stutter and all of that stuff. Like I feel like that's gonna be a very embarrassing moment. You've experienced it, so empathize with us and think, hey, first of all, the biggest thing, the reason why most people aren't like successful in life, whether it's anything, finance, relationships, whatever, is because they don't have the confidence, right? So if you don't have the confidence to step outside of your comfort zone, you're not going to get things outside of your comfort zone. So how do you expect to get things outside of your comfort zone if you're not willing to step outside of it?
No, that's very true. And I'm a very it's a mixed bag. Like I'm confident in some things and others I'm not. Like I would be nervous to approach a guy, not because I'm feeling myself, but because I'm like, oh my god, what if he doesn't like me? And I get in my head and I'll freak out.
So what do you think dudes are thinking?
The same thing, which is why like if you stutter or do something quote unquote corny, I think it's endearing. I think it's adorable because it's showing who you are. It's showing a truth. Yeah. Honesty is very attractive when it's not weaponized, but that's a whole nother thing. So that's okay. But if you're, I don't know, some people, I won't just say guys because women do it too. They like overcompensate and maybe try to show a side of perfection. Like, and I think that was my issue in the past. Like I always thought guys wanted perfection. They wanted girls who were 00 and had straight hair and
turns out they only want sluts.
Right.
That's probably why, Robyn. I mean, Robyn, I'm not a slut.
All for themselves.
I'm that one.
Wait, now
on side by side, I apologize for that comment.
Men are disgusting. Men are disgusting.
You're not a slut.
Men are disgusting. Men are disgusting.
Can we define?
No, men are really disgusting. Honestly, I've been around them. I've hung out with them. I've been in the locker room, and they're pretty bad. And at the end of the day,
can I say something though?
Yes.
That's the problem. One, let's define slut because I know people who slept with a lot of people, and I don't find them as sluts. Two, men. The problem is I've grown up with a lot of guy best friends, and I'm close to them. So comfortable where they would tell me about their love life and the women that they were dating or sleeping with. And it's made me very hyper aware of how men move. Yeah. Not all men. Yeah. I don't want to generalize, but how...
Well, hold on. Let's go back to your question, your initial question, which is let's define sluts. So sluts is not like how many people you slept with. It's how uninhibited you are during the sex. That's what defines a slut.
Or
like,
just
get
like
wild, get nasty.
Demeanor. Uninhibited demeanor in general.
But you gotta be under. So like some women have like extra confidence where they can be like that's like sexy, but not all women are necessarily know how to be sexy. But all women can learn how to be sluts.
Slut.
for their man. They don't have to do
You
it for
lowered your
the.
tone on the word.
Or
that
the-
was
They
funny.
don't have to do it. I like.
It is
I
Pride.
like.
It is Pride Month, so it doesn't have to be man.
That's
or-
true.
or
That's
who
true.
they
Well,
love.
we know guys are sluts, so
And
that's
we
why
already know that
the
We
gay
do.
guys are really getting it in because they're all just sluts, bro.
Well, so we're definitely getting to a point. We want to wrap this up for you guys.
Yeah,
Definitely
but-
want to be respectful of your time.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
yeah.
Well, we got a few minutes, but one thing that I wanted to get into before I let them go, because we may never have them on again, is, one thing you mentioned, Symone, was you were talking about, like, you were writing down your goals and stuff like that, or what you wanted in a man and all of that good jazz. So, like, just talk to us about the importance of, like, writing things down.
Yeah. I feel like I was a very negative, judgy person. And yeah, it makes you mean, like very mean. And
The Midwest will do that
that
to you,
was
especially
like
Chicago.
manifesting in my everyday life, and it's like, oh, why I'm not meeting these people, or why these jobs are not holding. So it's like, okay, say exactly what you want, mean it, speak with attention, do with attention, be a good person, right? And give, right? You get by giving, right? So I just think like power of the tongue is very important. And just say, even just going back to relationships and talking about like one minute you'll be like, oh, I'm not looking for a man, I'm busy, or I'm not looking for a girl, I'm busy, I'm having fun, I'm doing this. And then the next minute when you with yourself, you're like, I'm lonely, I want a person, I want a significant other. And it's like the universe is confused. You need to pick one and you need to stick with it and be intentional and be behind everything you say and be okay with changing your mind. Like, that's now leading. I'm like, it's okay to change my mind. Like, 1 minute I believed in one thing, and now I might believe in something else. And I'm going to own up to what I did believe in, but I'm going to let you know that I grow every day, right? Like, you reading books, you watching news, you're meeting new people, which now I might be like, oh, damn, I don't feel like that no more. Like, even with the whole COVID thing and people losing people, and at first I was like, this shit is fake. Da, 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 da. And then next thing you know, my best friend lost her brother, and I'm like, oh no. Everything I said, I did say it, but I don't believe that anymore. And whatever the case may be. But I'm just like, being a good person, being intentional with what you want, with who you're around, being authentic, because you can be this person right now, and now I become friends with you, and you switch up, and I'm like, girl, I like the other Robyn. Like, you were pretending, but
I love that because that's something
so
that we
important.
talk about.
TED Talk I've ever heard.
That is welcome to
awesome.
Symone's TED Talk. No, that's something that we talk about, and when we've talked about on this podcast, which is so important, which is redemption and just being able to say, hey man, I've been presented with new information. Allow me to take a new stance on this specific topic. It's super important. Robyn, do you have anything to add to that?
That goes to speak to cancel culture. That's where my head went when you guys were talking about it, which I don't. Everyone is redeemable. You just have to be open-minded and willing to learn and accept that we are all humans and we make mistakes. And a lot of what is that cliche saying? But it's so true. Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you're in a negative headspace or you're depressed or what have you. You do things to people, and sometimes you don't even realize you're hurting somebody.
Yeah.
So allow people grace, allow people to learn and grow and explain themselves. But for the people who don't want to change, and
those
they're
not
just,
your people.
jerks, then they don't need to be in your life anyway.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Not your tribe. Like anybody that doesn't like avocado or cilantro, they're not my tribe.
Oh God,
that's an everyday thing for me in my household.
There we go. So you might be a part of my
tacos.
tribe.
It's time to get some tacos.
Yeah, I'm thinking about bomb tacos.
Yeah.
So there we go. So y'all my tribe. That's why y'all on side by side. So Robyn, just let the people know, like, where can they find you if they're looking for you, if you want to be found?
Oh, do I want to be found? My Instagram.
It's okay if you don't want to be. We had a guest who was
it's
like
fine.
adamantly, you can't find me
Oh,
and I
like
don't want
against
to.
it?
He was like,
I mean,
nah,
I'm
I'm
on
under
private, so I can always say no, My Instagram is RobMV, ROBM is in Michelle, last name Vincent. So if you want to look me up, go for it. I might not accept and I might
Hey,
accept.
I'm gonna.
I love it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Side by
Respect.
side, and Judah Clan is
I
definitely
love
gonna
it.
send you.
I will accept.
I love
Okay,
it.
and we gotta connect you with. We gotta
Robyn,
connect
listen,
you with
listen.
Simone
And New
Bone too.
Orleans is
So
my
Yeah.
spot too, girl.
Yes,
I
I
go
love
three
Simone. I
times
just
out
met
the
you, but
year,
you're
at least 3 times out
amazing.
the
We
year.
got, yes.
Hey, you guys are close by each other.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Oh,
We'll
come. I
talk.
have a
We'll talk.
balcony. Oh, I almost said where it is. We're not going to do that on this. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
yes,
no.
yes.
So make sure y'all connect, and we can connect y'all too. But
Yeah.
Simone, where can people find you?
Well,
And I
my
know you
personal
mentioned like
Lady
the
Symone
Chaos brand.
business,
So
Chaos
just
the
tell us about all
brand,
of
and
that
I
really
just want you
fast.
guys to know if you was to follow me, Wine on the Brain, because that's a whole nother business venture that I came to Houston to pursue. It's a winery and tapas bar.
I am on the way.
Yeah.
Wow, we
Nice.
definitely got to talk offline about that
Hell
because
yeah.
I was literally just brainstorming with Tristan
Okay.
talking about a spot that they have that he wanted me to try to partner
Okay.
up with him or something, some space that they have.
Yes.
So
You're
I
right
don't
down the
know, man.
street, damn near.
It's the Houston,
Yeah.
Simone, I'll
Texas
come.
takeover.
Yeah,
Let's go.
listen. Always the family and
I'll come
friends.
and I'll pay full price. I don't need a friend's discount. I will support fully.
Yeah, and Rizzo, where can the people find you, my boy?
You can find me at Rizzo Feels on all the platforms.
And I'm at Judah Clan.
And we're side by side.
Until next week,
Of
guys.
course.
We'll see you next time. Thank you so much to Robyn and Symone. We appreciate you.